Hi everyone, it's Nezzle. Welcome back to my channel Nezzle and to another Nezzle Talks Tuesday video. In today's video, I am going to be talking to you about self-confidence and some things that you can do to improve your self-confidence. And this was a topic that was suggested by one of you. And so if you have a topic or a question that you would like me to address on this channel, then send me an email at nezzletalks@gmail.com and I will address it in one of the upcoming Nezzle Talks videos. If you enjoy this video or find it informative, then thumbs it up so that I will know. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on it and contributing anything that you can or want to the conversation. And if you're new to the channel, then subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post. I post new videos twice weekly. Tuesdays we have the Nezzle Talks and on Fridays we have vlogs. Both videos are posted at 2 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So once you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified every time I post. So let's jump into today's topic, chatting about self-confidence. Now, one of the first things I want to address before I get too deep into the tips is the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. I believe that a lot of people can think that they are the same, and while they are related, they are very different. So someone can have a very high self-confidence, yet have a low self-esteem, and vice versa. Self-confidence refers to our belief in our abilities, our capacity to do certain things, our skills, our judgments, that sort of thing. Whereas self-esteem refers to our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves as a human being. So our judgments that we make about ourselves and our worth, that is our self-esteem, whereas our self-confidence refers to our belief in our ability to do certain things. So for instance, you may have a very high self-confidence in your ability to do mathematics, to solve mathematical equations. That does not mean that you have a high self-esteem. Your self-esteem is how you value yourself. So you may see yourself as worthless and someone that no one likes, no one cares for, but yet you know that you are good at math. And so you will be confident in your ability in that area, but that doesn't mean that your self-esteem is high. And on the flip side, you can have a very high self-esteem and know that you are valuable and that there is no other person like you, that you're unique, that you bring a lot to the table, yet you may not have confidence in your ability to do math. So that is the difference between the two. While a lot of people can get them confused, they are not the same. To give another example, someone may be very confident in the way that they look. They know that they are physically attractive, and so they will play up those attributes because they know that that is something that they are good at. But that does not necessarily mean that they value themselves. That is why you may see someone who is extremely attractive settling for treatments and just things that they should not accept because they truly do not value themselves. They believe that the only thing or the main thing they have to offer is their looks, and so they allow people to treat them any which way because they do not truly believe that they are valuable. On the other hand, someone may be what society does not consider the most attractive, but they know their value, they know their worth, and so while they may not be confident in their physical attributes, they know that they are not going to accept foolishness from other persons. They are not going to let people talk down to them or disrespect them or undervalue them. And so in today's video, I wanted to make the distinction clear because the tips that I'm going to be sharing are tips for improving your self-confidence. If you want me to do a video addressing self-esteem more in-depthly, then leave it in the comment section and I will address it in an upcoming video. But for today, in order to prevent this video from being too long, I wanted to just focus on what I was asked to speak on, which was self-confidence. So now I'm going to go a bit more in-depth into what you can do to improve your self-confidence if you feel like you have low self-confidence in certain areas. So one of the first things that you can do to improve your self-confidence is to think positively. Believing that you can do something is the first step towards actually being able to do it. So for instance, if you want to learn to swim and you have no confidence right now that you'll ever be able to swim, by thinking positively and saying, yes, I can do it, I can be a swimmer. I may not be a champion swimmer, but I can learn to swim. That is the first step towards actually getting into that pool or getting into the seawater wherever you're learning to swim. That is the first step. Being positive, thinking that you can do it. A can-do attitude makes a whole difference. Because if you are dejected and you're just like, no, I can't do it, then you are not going to be able to do it, and your self-confidence in that area will not improve. Also, please excuse the background noise. Someone is building a house next door and there's a lot of hammering. So if you're hearing hammering, that is what it is. Tied in with being positive, I want you to eject any negative thoughts that you are having. So thoughts like, I'll never be able to do this, I'm just not made for this, those kinds of thoughts have no place in your mind right now. Unless you're referring to something that you really physically can never do, like fly or become invisible or something like that, then those thoughts have no place near you. So you want to get rid of them. You want to be able to remove those negative thoughts and instead replace them with positive thoughts. So instead of saying, I can't ever do this, say, I can't do it right now, but with practice, I might be able to do it. Or with practice, I will be able to do it. So you want to speak positivity, you want to eject negativity, and you also want to be aware of your limitations. And when I say be aware of your limitations, you're not being negative, but you're just being aware of what you are capable of doing. So for instance, if you have always had struggles with mathematics, then you may not aspire to be a mathematician. But that does not mean that you're not going to aspire to pass all of your mathematics classes. So that's the difference. You know your limitations. If you know you're a math whiz and you're excelling in all of your math courses, then you, of course, can aspire towards being a mathematician, getting your PhD in mathematics, and just rocking it in the math world. But if you know that math is something you struggle with, then you don't set such a high goal for yourself, because then it's not likely you'll achieve it and you'll just be keeping your self-confidence down. But if you say, you know what, math isn't something I'm great at, but I am going to strive to ensure that I get at least a B in math. And even a B, you probably could try for an A, But you push yourself to something that you know you can achieve with practice, not something that is totally out of the sphere of possibilities for you. But again, you don't want to limit yourself and just say, I can't do it, so I'm not going to try. So you be positive, eject negative, but keep your limitations in mind. Now, I spoke about practice, and I will say that practice makes proficient. I'm not going to say practice makes perfect, because none of us are perfect and we're never going to be perfect at anything. I spent several years learning to play the piano. And even though I may perfect a song, I was never perfect at playing the piano. And even the greatest piano players out there are not perfect at playing the piano. No one is perfect. And even though you may get really, really close to perfect, you are never going to be perfect. So aim to be proficient in what you do. Aim to excel in what you do. And in order to get to that point, you have to practice. You have to keep doing it. With everything, the more you do it, the more you get used to doing it. So the first time that you try to walk as a young child, it's going to be difficult. It's like, what is happening here? These legs don't want to stay up. But the more you do it, the more you find that eventually you become an adult, you become a child, an older child, and you walk and you never give any thought to walking unless something comes up which actually impedes you from walking. So you have an accident, you stub your toe, those things will make you remember, hey, I can walk. But once you get to that point of being able to walk, you don't think about it. Or driving, or riding a bicycle, or even reading. When you're learning to read at first, you are struggling. You're picking at letters to try and form words and to put the words together to make a sentence. But once you learn to read, reading becomes second nature, to the point where sometimes we don't even read all the letters. I have seen those pictures that they have around where once they have the first and the last letter in the word correctly placed, you know what the word is supposed to be, and you can read an entire paragraph with no word spelled correctly. You get to that point where you're really proficient at reading, but it takes practice. So whatever it is that you're trying to build self-confidence in, practice it as much as you can to get to that point of proficiency in it. My next tip is don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to do everything at once. So going back to like learning to play an instrument, you will not learn to play the instrument the first day that you try it. You may learn to play a scale. You may learn a few notes, but you're not going to learn everything. It will take time and practice. So don't overwhelm yourself and don't put that increased pressure on yourself to be amazing at it right away. That is an unrealistic expectation that you're placing on yourself. It is a burden that you are giving yourself that you do not need. And it is just not done unless you happen to be a genius in that area and just have phenomenal abilities in that area. It is going to take time. So give yourself that time to work towards achieving what you want to achieve. Another tip, depending on what it is that you're trying to be proficient at, things like public speaking, things like playing an instrument, anything like that, it might help to practice in front of a mirror, to practice in front of another person, something that will help you to get your confidence up in that area. So for instance, public speaking, if you know that you suck at it, you just go up there and you shiver and shake and sweat, take some time before to practice in front of the mirror, to practice enunciating your words and really just getting comfortable looking at yourself doing it. Then maybe ask persons in your family to sit and let you present to them, because then you're getting a feel of what it is like to present in front of people. You can probably try it with your friends as well. That will help you so that eventually when you get to the point of having to talk to a bigger crowd, you have a bit of experience in it already. Of course, this will not apply to everything that you're trying to perfect. Certain things, practicing in front of a mirror or in front of people, will not affect in any way. For instance, if you're trying to improve your mathematics skills, doing math in front of someone is not likely to make you do the math better. But having people around or just being in front of a mirror can be very motivational for you. So you can give that a try if it applies and see if it helps. My next tip is to set small goals within the big goal. So give yourself little things that you can celebrate. So for instance, if again you want to become better at math and you're working on algebra or a particular topic in math, give yourself mini goals. So you want to achieve this thing today. Not you want to learn everything to do with algebra today, but you want to at least understand the basics today. Then tomorrow you want to be able to do a little more than that. And each day you give yourself a small goal that you're going to work towards. That keeps you motivated because you continue to accomplish on a daily basis, so you don't feel dejected and you don't lose heart. So give yourself those small goals and work towards achieving them. And eventually you will find that you've accomplished the big goal and you didn't even realize all of that time had passed. Now my next tip might sound simple. It might even sound silly to some of you, but smile. Smiling improves our mood. There have been studies that suggest that simply smiling, even if you're in a really bad mood, like you just smile and it really just improves your mood right away. So next time you're feeling upset, like someone really just annoyed you or something just didn't go the way you wanted it to go, smile. Force yourself to smile and hold that smile for a few minutes, so not minutes, that's crazy. Hold the smile for a few moments, a few seconds, and see how you feel. And you will notice that your mood immediately begins to improve just because you chose to smile. So in the same way, whatever challenges that you're facing, whatever you're dealing with, as you try to accomplish your goal, smile through it. Smile. Just give yourself that little confidence boost that, if nothing else, you smile today. And I think it will help you. So give it a try. My next tip is to exercise gratitude. And when I say that, I mean be thankful for the things that you can do. A lot of times we focus on the one thing that we're not great at. So you may be great at spelling, great at maths, great at English, but you just suck at the science subjects. And instead of being grateful for the things that you can do, you focus on the things that you cannot do. Or maybe you're really great at baking, but you can't cook to save your life. Be grateful for the fact that you can bake, or whatever it might be. You may not be a great driver, but you might be great at something completely unrelated to driving. Maybe you're great at helping people to feel better about their feelings. Maybe you're great at cooking or riding a bicycle. Whatever it might be, there are things that you are great at. There's no person on this planet who is good at nothing. And if you think that you are good at nothing, then that is a self-esteem issue and not a reality, because we all have something we're good at. Even if we don't think it's something worthwhile, we all have things that we are good at. So take the time to show yourself some gratitude for what your body allows you to do on a daily basis, what your mind allows you to do. Be thankful for it, because there are some people who can't do the things that you can do and who can only dream of doing the things that you find come naturally to you. So express gratitude, be thankful for what you can do, and then work towards improving on the things that you cannot. And the last tip that I'm going to share in this video regarding improving your self-confidence is to be prepared. It really makes a big difference when you do what you can to be prepared for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So for instance, if you are trying to bake a cake or to cook a meal, the first step would be to make sure that you have what it takes to do it. Do you have the right cooking utensils? Do you have the ingredients? Have you read through the recipe and you know what is expected? If you know you only have 20 minutes to make something, and in your mind you say, hey, I'll make bakes, and you didn't think about the fact that you need to leave the flour for a while to rest, you're not going to be able to make the bake. So you're setting yourself up to fail immediately. So be prepared. Look over what you have to do. Make sure that you have what it takes to get it done. And if you don't, then work on getting those things so that when you are ready to try it or do it, that you're able to. So whatever that situation might be, if it is learning to drive, take the time to get the classes that you need so that you'll be able to drive well for your exam. Or you may have already passed the exam but you don't feel so confident, then take time. Maybe leave home earlier on a morning so that you can drive when there's less traffic on the road to get used to it. Or if you know that you're not good at a particular subject, then get the textbooks and so that you need to help you to improve in that area. If you're not great at cooking, practice making little meals just for yourself. Maybe you don't want other people to taste it yet. Or let your close friends and family taste it and give you their opinion of it. But be prepared. Do whatever you can to put yourself in the best position to actually accomplish your goals. Persons who go up and take part in big competitions and so, they prepare. Athletes train for months and months before they go and run. Persons who are taking part in like spelling bee competitions or whatever competition they're taking part in, they take the time to prepare and practice. So be prepared, put that practice in, and I am telling you, even if you don't get to where you want to get to, you will improve. And improving is a step in the right direction. So I hope you found these tips helpful. I know that those are not all the tips. So that is where you come in. Leave your tips in the comment section below so that other persons can benefit, especially persons who are trying to work on building their self-confidence. And don't forget, if you want me to do something on self-esteem, tips that you can use to improve your self-esteem, then leave that in the comment section below as well. If you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed it in any way, then please thumbs it up so that I will know. I love making these videos for you guys. It's a great opportunity for me to just talk to you, but it'll be great to know what you like, what you don't like, so I can do the things that you like and maybe avoid the things that you don't, if it is something that I want to avoid. If not, then I'll probably still do it. But I really hope that you enjoyed it. And please subscribe if you're new. If you haven't yet subscribed, then I would love to have you as part of the Nezzle fam. We are growing and I'm so happy for all of the new people who have joined. So if you haven't yet joined, then subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post, which, as I said, is every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. So if you love the talks, if you love the vlogs, then this is the place to be. Anyway, thanks for watching. Send your emails to nezzletalks@gmail.com if you have a topic you want me to cover. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.